A few months back, I made a video going over my picks for the healthiest meals at popular fast food restaurants, and I said I would do the same concept with fast food breakfast if there was enough interest. Well, there was, and I'm here to deliver. Last time I spent a while explaining my criteria for the meals I chose and the restaurants I labeled as fast food. But since you probably should watch that one first, this time I'm going to be much quicker about it. The meal criteria are as follows. It has to be a meal, an actual, sizable, satiating, nutritious meal. I will be showing the meals as they are commonly or easily ordered with minimal modifications. No sides will be included, it's just the main entree. They must be permanent menu items, no limited time or seasonal options, and obviously they must be something from the restaurant's breakfast menu. All nutrient data is pulled from each restaurant's website and will be linked down below. And I will once again be listing up to 3 alternatives that I thought were good runner-ups. For restaurants' inclusion, the main criteria is still, are they fast? The existence of drive-thrus still seems like a pretty good general deciding factor. Again, with a few exceptions that can definitely still be considered fast food. So no fast casual or anything where you have to order ahead. And of course the place has to have a dedicated breakfast menu with a bit of variance and real meal food, not just stuff like donuts or pastries. And lastly, I'm only covering restaurants with a lot of locations, at least 300 in the US. Once again, these are my picks based on my definition of healthy, so feel free to let me know where you disagree. And with that record time preamble out of the way, these are my picks for the healthiest breakfast at popular fast food restaurants. Going alphabetically, we are starting this time with Bojangles, and I have chosen their egg and cheese biscuit, with their bacon egg and cheese biscuit not far behind. Bojangles' breakfast menu is mainly a variety of biscuits containing everything from eggs to chicken to ham to steak, as well as just biscuits and gravy, which a surprising amount of my audience has not really heard of before. Anyway, I chose this egg and cheese biscuit for its simple ingredients and nutrient profile. I should also make sure to mention that Bojangles locations usually serve breakfast all day. For Braum's, I'm choosing their fruit and yogurt swirl, though if you wanted a more traditional breakfast, their breakfast burrito, English muffin with egg, and bagel with egg are all good alternatives. Braum's breakfast menu is pretty varied, lots of burritos, bagels, and biscuits, as well as their hotcakes and big country breakfast. But Braum's is arguably most well known for their quality dairy products, so I do think this is a fitting choice. Plenty of protein per calorie compared to the rest of the menu, with ingredients like strawberries, banana, and almonds making it pretty fibrous too. Braum's also throws in their quality cottage cheese with several meals, which can also be a good common breakfast food. For Burger King, I'm going with their ham, egg, and cheese croissantwich, with their egg and cheese croissantwich right behind. The majority of their breakfast menu is typical breakfast meats on croissants and biscuits, as well as a couple burritos and pancake combos. I chose this one because I think it has the best nutrient profile, especially per calorie, specifically when compared to other meats like sausage and bacon. That, and because the croissants were less carb dense than the biscuits. For Carl's Jr., I'm going to go with their steak and egg burrito, though their bacon, egg, and cheese burrito is good too. Carl's Jr. has a varied breakfast menu, including biscuits, loaded burritos, and even a breakfast burger. I just think it's hard to compete with the nutritional merit of steak alongside salsa and in a tortilla rather than top and bottom bread. For Chick-fil-A, I have settled on their egg white grill sandwich, though it was a tough choice between that and their chicken minis, their hash brown scramble bowl, and their chicken egg and cheese muffin. Chick-fil-A has a lot of quality breakfast sandwiches as well as some other options including parfait. But per calorie, none of them have as much to offer as this sandwich with egg whites and grilled chicken, an ingredient you would probably expect Chick-fil-A to know how to do right. Its protein per calorie is pretty much unmatched on this video, which is a very important nutrient for breakfast. For Del Taco, I'm going with their breakfast burrito with carne asada steak, though their bacon breakfast burrito, egg and cheese breakfast roller, and egg and cheese big fat taco are good alternatives. As you might have guessed, Del Taco mainly specializes in a variety of tacos and burritos, and this extends to their breakfast menu, all of which have a generous serving of eggs, cheese, and red sauce, so I'm mainly deciding between sizes and additional ingredients. And their carne asada steak easily has the most to offer nutritionally among the bunch. For Dunkin Donuts, I have chosen their egg and cheese on an English muffin, though their turkey sausage egg and cheese and turkey sausage wake-up wrap had strong cases too. Dunkin is a very breakfast-focused chain, mainly specializing in drinks and donuts, but they do have a modest menu of what could be called more traditional breakfast food, mainly sandwiches with varying meats and on varying breads, croissants, bagels, biscuits, and of course English muffins. And ultimately, I just think that nothing beats a simple, satisfying egg sandwich. And this may be obvious, but Dunkin' Donuts does serve breakfast all day. For Einstein Bros Bagels, I have selected their garden avocado egg sandwich. Though it was a tough choice between that and their bacon avocado and tomato egg white sandwich, their turkey sausage and cheddar egg sandwich, and their ham and Swiss egg sandwich. This is another very breakfast focused chain specializing in sandwiches on various types of bagels. Hash brown bagels all the way to jalapeno bagels, with everything in them from egg whites to chorizo. My choice is this because I think the ingredients of avocado, tomato, and spinach offer the most per calorie. And yes, they do serve breakfast all day. For Hardee's, I'm going with their Frisco breakfast sandwich with ham. Hardee's has a wide selection of breakfast sandwiches on biscuits and brioche and a few burritos in there for good measure, containing exactly what you'd expect: eggs, cheese, potatoes, and suitable breakfast meats. I have chosen the Frisco with ham because it has the best nutrient profile, and you all already know how I feel about sourdough bread. But in case you don't, I feel pretty good about it. For Jack in the Box, my pick is the Breakfast Jack, which contains ham. I specify because their other sandwiches specify the meat in the item name. These sandwiches range from bacon to sausage and on croissants to sourdough. They also have breakfast burritos and French toast breakfast platters. I have selected the standard Breakfast Jack because its egg and ham result in what is in my opinion the best nutrient profile. I should also mention that Jack in the Box is another chain that serves breakfast all day. For McDonald's, I have chosen their Egg McMuffin, which comes with Canadian bacon, though I think there's an argument to be made for their sausage burrito and fruit and maple oatmeal. McDonald's breakfast menu is ever expansive with sandwiches on McMuffins, biscuits, McGriddles, and bagels containing some combination of egg, cheese, and meat, though of course they do have some options that are not between two pieces of bread. To put it simply, I think their Egg McMuffin has the best nutrient profile per calorie. For Panera Bread, I have picked their garden avocado and egg white sandwich, though it was in a close race with their steak and wake, their ciabatta, ham, egg and cheese sandwich, and their mixed berry parfait. Panera has quite the spread of breakfast sandwiches on almost any bread you can want and containing almost any breakfast ingredients you could want. This sandwich in particular stood out to me because of its ingredients. Multigrain bread, egg whites, cheddar cheese, avocado, and tomato sounds to me like a recipe for success. For Sonic, I'm going to go with their bacon breakfast burrito. The classic drive-in restaurant doesn't have the largest breakfast menu, but its various burritos and toast sandwiches seem to be all they need. Whether you want bacon, sausage, potatoes, or more vegetables, there's an option. I have selected this burrito in particular simply because I think it has the best nutrient profile. And yes, Sonic does serve breakfast all day long, at least at the overwhelming majority of their locations. For Starbucks, I have selected their spinach, feta, and egg white wrap. Though it was a close race with their turkey bacon, cheddar, and egg white sandwich, their egg, pesto, and mozzarella sandwich, and any of their egg bites. I would say Starbucks has more of a breakfast menu than a lunch menu, which I suppose is fitting to go with their coffee. Quality sandwiches, wraps, danishes, cakes, and like I mentioned, those egg bites seem pretty special. Ultimately, I chose this wrap for its nutrients and its varied ingredients of egg whites, spinach, feta, and sun-dried tomato. And fittingly, Starbucks does serve breakfast all day. For Subway, I'm going with their steak, egg, and cheese sandwich, though their steak, egg, and cheese wrap, Black Forest ham, egg, and cheese sandwich, and plain egg and cheese sandwich are all worthy alternatives. These are the numbers for a 6-inch sub. As far as I can tell, Subway's breakfast menu is pretty simple. Do you want bacon, steak, or ham with your eggs, and then do you want a sandwich or a wrap? And then of course all the customization that Subway is known for with their breads, cheeses, veggies, and sauces. Before all that though, I found their steak variety to have the best nutrient profile, and I found some Subways do serve breakfast all day, though most seem to not. For Taco Bell, I'm going to go with their breakfast quesadilla with steak, though you could go with their grande toasted breakfast burrito with steak as well. Taco Bell's breakfast menu is probably a lot like what you'd expect: burritos, quesadillas, and their signature crunch wraps filled with varying meats and potatoes. To me, the quesadilla with steak has the best nutrient profile, largely owed to its simplicity of ingredients: eggs, cheese, and the consistent powerhouse that is steak. For Taco John's, I've chosen their Junior Breakfast Burrito with steak, though if you want something a bit bigger, you could go with their Scrambler Burrito with steak. Taco John's breakfast menu consists of burritos with varying ingredients like meats including chorizo and potatoes. This Junior Breakfast Burrito opts out of the potatoes, focusing more on the eggs and meat, and to me that gives it a better nutrient profile. For Tropical Smoothie Cafe, I have decided on their Cali breakfast flatbread with chicken, though their Southwest wrap with chicken and their spinach, feta, and pesto wrap are great alternatives. Tropical Smoothie Cafe's breakfast menu is quite modest, consisting of a few wraps, a couple of flatbreads, and a quesadilla. But there is quite a bit of variance in the other ingredients, from sausage, egg, and cheese to peanut butter and banana. Anyway, to me, this flatbread's ingredients, including grilled chicken, eggs, avocado, and chipotle mayo, offer the most per calorie. For Wendy's, I'm selecting their classic egg and cheese sandwich, but some good alternatives are their breakfast burrito with bacon and their bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Wendy's has a sizable breakfast menu, including burritos and sandwiches on croissants, biscuits, and potato buns. But nutritionally, to me, nothing beats the simplicity of eggs and cheese on an English muffin. The fiber content is especially standout per calorie. For Whataburger, my pick is the taquito with cheese and bacon, though some alternatives include the egg sandwich and the breakfast on a bun with bacon. Whataburger has a moderately sized breakfast menu, including biscuits, breakfast burgers, and breakfast bowls. But this is my choice simply because I think it has the best nutrient profile, focusing mainly on what's inside, like the eggs. Whataburger locations are open 24 hours, so they tend to serve breakfast from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. And last up, for White Castle, I've selected their original slider with egg and cheese, though some viable alternatives include the breakfast slider with egg and cheese, the breakfast slider with bacon, and the breakfast toast sandwich with egg and cheese. White Castle has built their entire brand around sliders, and their breakfast menu doesn't stray far from that. I've chosen this original slider because I think beef has the most to offer nutritionally among the options, and White Castle locations do serve breakfast all day long. Similar to the premise of the last one, this video was made very much out of curiosity more than anything. These picks are not truly objective, but once again, I guess it can be helpful if you're out on the road and need something to eat, except this time, it's in the morning. Now, if you enjoyed this video, or at the very least learned something, I encourage you to subscribe as I post nutrition videos on the regular. I also encourage you to share this with someone who you think might find it useful or interesting. And remember that all I ask is that you do your own research and advocate for your body. You only get the one.